You have such a soulful voice. How do you tend to describe the genre of music that you make?
I tend to say that it's soul music, primarily built on soul, because of the emotion. But I like to dabble in a lot of different genres and then take elements of those genres that I like the most and blend them together in my own concoction.
Who are some artists that influenced you when you were growing up?
Paul Simon, Stevie Nicks, Annie Lennox, Luther Vandross. Yeah. So many, but those are the big ones. Yeah.
Your song Say It is out now off your latest upcoming album, Diaries of a Common Woman. Beautiful song. Where did the inspiration come from?
Thank you for saying that. Well, the inspiration, I was actually out in the desert when I wrote that song, and I was with a bunch of musicians, and I was kind of thinking about an important topic that needs to be covered more than it is, and it's like having deep conversations with people that we've hurt or who have hurt us, and saying I love you and I'm sorry so we can forgive something that had happened and move on and heal. So it was rooted in that, but the story really comes from like my childhood and things that I experienced and needing to have some conversations with people close to me.
What kind of fan response have you already been receiving to it?
Yeah, it's been really good. A lot of people are deeply moved by it. Um, yeah, I mean it's a good one. Like I said, a lot of people can relate to that. So a lot of people I did an anonymous apology post on my Instagram and said like if you could say an anonymous apology to someone, like what would you say? And a lot of people responded and said some apologies to me, and I was like, wow, that's people do have things they need to say to others.
Sure. It's a beautiful way to get off your chest and anonymously to say
Yeah.
what's touching and weighing on you. And the video is so striking for this. Where did the concept come from?
Thank you. It came from me. I love to mood board and like come up with different ideas, and it all is like has is a metaphor basically, but the band is under plastic because it's basically we're we're up in an attic essentially, and where the old furniture or whatever is covered with plastic because it hasn't been touched and it's just sitting up there for like 15 years, you know what I mean? So it's like a
Yeah.
metaphor, like they're under the plastic, and then at the end we reveal them. But you can't really, it's just like a snippet. But they're not under the plastic anymore toward the end. And then with the braids, like I braided all these really long braids. It took me a while.
I'm
Um,
sure.
yeah, and it's kind of like me being tied up to myself in a way. Like, yeah.
And what is your typical songwriting process? Do you have a way that you always write the music that you craft?
No, it can vary. Sometimes it comes out of me in like 5 seconds. Like it's just like a stream of consciousness. If I'm playing the guitar or something, and I'll just push record on my phone and just see what comes out. And sometimes I'm like, I love that. Or I'll take a piece of that and I'll put it in something. Um, but sometimes it's a little bit more crafted and it takes me sitting with it and coming back to it and giving it space. And sometimes I work with songwriters and we can kind of play on each other's metaphors and creations. It's really fun to do that as well. Yeah.
How much of a hand then do you have in the production side of the music that you make?
Well, I'm getting more and more involved in that on this EP coming up on November 7th. I co-produced, so I had a big part in saying I like what I like. So it feels the most me. The music feels the most me that I've released thus far in my career.
Wow.
Yeah.
Must be so satisfying for you then to finally reach a peak where you can speak your mind without editing.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
It's a beautiful EP you have here coming up, Diaries of a Common Woman. Where did that title come from?
Diaries of a Common Woman is pretty self-explanatory because I was thinking it came to me pretty easily recently because I was writing the songs that feel like a diary entry, basically. And I was like, wow, this is my diary. Um, I have borderline personality disorder. So every song touches on an emotion that I experience because the thing with BPD is that it's pretty extreme. Like I don't really have like a neutral. It's either I'm like, woohoo, or I'm like enraged. So I'm working on it, getting help. But I talk, that's what it's about. It's talking about all of those crazy emotions and how it affects my interpersonal relationships and my intimate relationships with my boyfriend and um, the guilt and the shame and kind of the root say it is more of like where it comes from, the root problem that needs where the forgiveness needs to happen. So yeah, it's just like my diary. And of a common woman, it's because I experience all of the human emotions, but I'm uncommon in the way that I express them as we all are, because everyone has their own unique way of expressing their emotions.
Well, your raw honesty is just beautiful, and your candor is wonderful that so many people I feel like need to hear it. And the music you make, Love and Mental Breakdowns, Heartbleed Over Coffee, those are two of my personal favorite tracks off this EP. Which ones hold a special place in your heart?
Man, they all really hold a special place. I had for Love and Mental Breakdowns, that one it feels in my body. So like like I don't even know how to explain it or put words to the feeling, but because domestic violence is something that I am not um how can I put this? I'm pretty, I've seen it firsthand. So that has kind of leaked over into my life in my current relationships, if you will. And because they say history repeats itself.
Mm.
So I'm working on that. But it, it's the story of how I'm like, this is what it is. It's love and mental breakdowns. That one really, when I sing that or feel that, like I feel that.
Super visceral. That's why I, relate to it as well.
Yeah.
Are you looking forward to performing any of these live soon?
Oh yeah. Yep. Definitely. I'm super excited. I'm starting to get some fans from Europe. So we're going to do a European run in Italy, which I'm excited about. And when I opened up for Macy Gray this past summer, I got to perform Love and Mental Breakdowns. And by the end of the song, the whole crowd was singing Love and Mental Breakdowns, which was so cool. I was like, wow, this is crazy.
I
Yeah.
mean, it must feel so good to you to feel people singing the words back to you and that they connect to it in such a visceral way like that. Seeing that live is probably even more emotional than maybe getting people saying, like, here's my apology. I mean, they both have meaning to them, certainly, but, hearing someone, playing your music or reciting it back to you, singing it back to you has to fill your heart even more.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. That was a
All
special
right.
song, special moment.
You touched on it a bit that you went here recently on tour with Macy Gray. What did you learn or take away from your time out on tour that you've taken with you for the future?
It was really an amazing opportunity to witness someone that I have personally looked up to for a long time. She's super cool and down to earth. And after the show, she sent her assistant to come get me. I was like just standing on the dance floor and she said, Macy requests you in the green room. So I went and I hung out with Macy for a little bit and we just talked about different show elements. And she said everyone in the band was raving about my show. So there will be some more dates with her to be announced in the future. So I'm going to do some more shows with her. Yeah.
What would you like to say then to everyone who are fans and supporters of this beautiful music you make?
I would say thank you so much for listening. And I hope that you have the courage to um, express yourself and know that everybody is going through something. You're not alone in that.
Yeah.
And the truth shall set you free. So just don't be afraid of your emotions. And I hope that you can find an outlet.
I think that's a great advice because I think people forget that, you know, not, music heals, but also if there's anything that you find artistic in your life as an outlet, it's also a saving grace as well. You need to have those peaceful moments in your life to sort of balance out the difficult days as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, you're so good at this. You're so good at this. I can't wait for the EP to drop here in November. How are you going to celebrate?
Ooh, well, I'm planning to have a show here in Hollywood, like a release party, if you will. We'll do a show. That's probably going to be the biggest celebration, other than I'll be doing a couple cartwheels and a back tuck.
All right, I'm looking forward to seeing that.
Yep, me too.